Hi everybody, quick message to my Persian community. دوستان عزیز اگر این ویدیو تو فارسی میخواین تو کامنت بزنین فارسی من همینو واسهتون تو چنل فارسی میذارم. So hi everybody, every year I do a address on the New Year's Day for Uplands Nation worldwide, just our community. But I have a lot of friends, long-time friends. And a lot of people who've been following me a long time are saying that, we follow you a long time, we know you a long time, we don't really know what you do, can you tell us what you do? So I thought this time my address would be to everybody, it's not just to our nation. And first of all, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And, we take New Year very, very, very seriously. What I do generally, I like to go into a new year with momentum. I think most people, what they do is that Christmas comes, happy, it's kind of family time, and after that, kind of looking for that next big party, the New Year's party, and then that comes on New Year's Day. Next thing you know, it's a second, and they're kind of starting to get going to the year, and then the weekend comes, and the first week went by, nothing. It takes them a while, and it doesn't feel really good and motivating when you kind of enter a year and you don't have momentum. So what I do for the last 30 years is that between Christmas, up to Christmas, there's a few days, we take it easy, but right after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, we build the momentum. I put some 12, 14-hour days because I like to go into the new year with momentum as opposed to showing up in the new year and how you get going. Remember, how you start the year is how you're going to finish. We like to move, we close the year fast and we move with momentum. Because momentum has 3 stages: start, sustain, and advance. And we want to go into the new year, we want to attack the new year with momentum. All right, so let's talk about some of my friends have been saying, what do you do? What is your businesses? And I do many things, but my main company that I do now is in direct marketing, and it's a company called Uplands Global. It's a very luxury company. We're Canada's largest private fashion house. If you go to YouTube with Ferry on a Runway, the biggest fashion shows in Canada is ours. And you'll see all our runways and 75-foot runways and models. And so just go YouTube Ferry, F-E-R-I, on a runway. We haven't done one in a few years, but you'll see the different ones out there. So during the pandemic, or just before pandemic, we also got into professional grade health and wellness products. So people say, what do you do? What's your company? Well, my company is a bunch of scientists, designers, marketing experts. That's what we are. We create, design, manufacture products, and we market our products. Now, we don't market to the people. We don't deal with, we like the Mercedes-Benz head office. We don't sell to the public. What we do, we have, dealers worldwide, 204 countries and territories, and they become dealers for us, like an Amazon store, except a luxury version of that. It's quite different, actually, than the Amazon concept, but, just give you an example, it's an e-commerce platform, and people have access to all the products that we make, and they market it. So we've been doing this for 18 and a half years. Can't believe it's our 20th anniversary is coming. So we ship to 204 countries and territories. So that's one of my businesses. I do have I wrote a book 23 years ago called The Forensic Networker. We have a huge university, global students. It's the most advanced direct selling university in the world. I'm part of the Hall of Fame in direct sales. So it's something I've done for 35 years. Other than that, a lot of different investments, different things. And we have a very big new project we just bought to release. It's not a new project, I've worked on it for 3 years, but we bought to release. All right, so that's about what we do. One of the questions I get a lot that people saying, like, why do you keep on working? Like, every time I go somewhere, they're saying, we follow you, we see that you're constantly working. I mean, you're obviously doing fine, so why do you have to work so hard? Well, that comes down to many reasons. I have some major targets that we still need to achieve. But my two main philosophies in life is, when you're fresh, you're ripe. When you're ripe, you rot. Let that sink in for a minute. When you're fresh, you're ripe, like a fruit. When you're ripe, you rot. You gotta stay fresh. It's always about the next. Another philosophy I wrote in my book 23 years ago, The Forensic Networker, is life is not about achieving happiness. It's about happily achieving. Life is not about achieving happiness, but happily achieving. It's about the next. And that's what keeps you young. That's what keeps you excited about life. That's why it keeps you independent. That's what keeps you so fulfilled with everything you do in your life that you don't need to be around other people, do other things, find distractions because you got this massive targets. Years ago, I decided, hey, you know what? When I launched my company on my home office in 2005, my company Optimus Global, it's on my home office. The first 3 months, it was the office. I went to like a 250 square foot corporate center, and now we got global businesses, offices. So, you know, the whole thing was about to the billion. 19 years, we're still chasing that, but you know what? It keeps you fresh. So remember that. So why am I working? I don't mind working. I love working. It's about the next, and of course, the type of business we have. You know, I don't need $1 billion. Just so I'll be very clear, I don't need $1 billion. My life was really good before I started this company in 2005. I made my first $1 million at age 25. I mean, my life was good. So obviously money is good. We all like money. But at the end of the day, once you have it, other things become priority. We have other targets. We want to change the direct sales industry. We've done that. You know, we want a global business. We've done that. We've created a luxury designer. We've done that. You know, we want to create 1,000 millionaires. We're still working on that. You know, we've created some. So there's a lot of targets that we have that's beyond. I always set a target beyond yourself. Set a target above you, because if you set the target low and just about you, then once you achieve that target, what happens? You become demotivated. Life becomes meaningless. You're ripe. Then you rot. So you want to set a target much, much bigger than yourself. So, you know what? In the last few days, we're getting ready, and we're about to attack 24, and we're going to crush this. You know, the biggest fear I have, and I share this at the end of the year with my team worldwide, is that the biggest fear one should have is burning through another year. Because you know what? Money you can find ways to make it, but you can never get the time back. You could never burn through a year. Never should burn through a month, a week, or a day. Like you get up and you crush it. It's all about achieving the next thing fresh. It's all about that. So yeah, I'm motivated. I'm 55 years old, and you know, and somebody said the other day, I was at the gym working out, and somebody says, "How's it feel to be 55?" I said, "I don't know." So you know, because to me, I feel like when I was in my 20s. I don't look like when I was in my 20s, but I feel like it. I'm staying fresh. So we're attacking that. You know, people say, you know, they always ask me for tips. You know, so what's your tip for this year? You know, I don't really give tips. You can see professionals for those type of tips. What I'm really strong and good at is long-term vision. You know, I'm a good researcher. I always take a look and see with every aspect. If I talk about something, I know a lot about it. Otherwise, I just don't get involved in that conversation. So one thing I can tell you, what I've observed the last 3, 4, 5 years, what's going on in the world is drastically changing. Especially the pandemic created an opportunity for the people in power to do what they wanted to do for a long time, which is make some major changes. So if I have to tell you something, maybe a little bit too advanced for you, I don't think it was that even mean, is that look for independence. And how you do that is because when you live in a country, you're not an independent person, because you're dependent on everything that happens in the country. So stop being a local citizen and become a global citizen. You know, not just in business, also in your residency. You know, start finding what other areas or countries I would like to live in. You know, and start looking for different passports. You know, if you don't have a global business, you have a job, start an e-commerce business. Do something like what we're doing. You know, I'm not shilling my company. I'm just saying there's ways to do that. And so I think everybody should, especially if in the G7 countries, it's been pretty rough. Canada, it's not the same country I was when I came 45 years ago. So, you know, I can tell you a lot of my Canadian friends, people who've been here, live here, you know, they born here, and we talk to each other, and we're thinking, you know, it's time to look at other options. Not permanently Canada, but we need other options. So if you want to give you a tip for the next 5 years, this is another thing you do now, is thinking, you know, doesn't matter where you live in the world, and if you're in a G7, G20 country, you should be thinking, how do I set my life up, study e-commerce business? So if I can pick up and go, if there's another pandemic. See, in the pandemic, we never shut down one day. No, we never shut one day. We worked through the whole thing. Our people globally, they placed the order, they got the order, they got paychecks on Tuesday, nothing stopped. That's what you want. Doesn't matter if the country was shut down. Doesn't matter if there was a lockdown. All of that stuff. They got paid. They got their products. Boom. You want to. That's called independence. That's called freedom. So what I suggest to everybody is, if you want to do something, next 5 years, think about independence. Independence on where you live, residency, what are the options you have, and independence in business. If you only have a job, right? Find an e-commerce business that you could do on the side. If you do have a business, find how you can scale it globally by using the e-commerce platform and so forth. All right, so that's all I want to say. If you want to find out more about what I do, if you want direct sales or marketing, advanced stuff, if you're on Instagram, just go to the Forensic Networker. That's where you see my MLM content there. If you want to get that in Farsi, I have a huge group in Iran, or Farsi group, Persian community. Go to Forensic Networker Iran Official. I'll put it in the comments for you. Forensic Networker Iran Official on Instagram. You can find Forensic Network on Facebook as well. And if you want to find out about my new project, which I'm really, really excited about, 3 years we got into this. It's a blockchain, Web 3.0, cryptocurrency launch. It's coming on 12 days. In 12 days, it's going to be launched on exchanges. So follow me on Telegram or follow me on Instagram, exitlab.io. I'll put it in the comment for you, exitlab.io, if you want to find out about my new project, what we're doing with it. And that's going to be $1 billion project. I know it. I feel excited about that. So follow me on Telegram as well, exitlab.io, and we stay connected. Listen, welcome to our channels, and good luck to you, and let's crush 24. Let's go to the billion.